Hello folks, I hope you're having a great day. The topic I am choosing from Chapter 1 is the economic imperative as it relates to the workplace. The economic imperative comes from the idea that knowing about intercultural communication and being able to effectively use it is vital for U.S. businesses in the emerging transnational economy. Naturally, as the United States cultural diversity grows, so does that of the workforce. This creates a need for intentional attentiveness and awareness of diversity issues and opportunities to create both a better working environment and to increase accessibility and add new ventures as a business. This can also mean adapting to different cultures to grow into their markets, and those markets may even be here in the US or it can be abroad. My personal experience as it relates to this is, I used to work as a front of house operations director at a restaurant close to where I live. No longer work there, but in my experience there, I was able to be invited by the owner-operator of the restaurant that I worked at to a corporate-led convention of sorts, in which we actually talked a little bit about creating a more intentional workplace for different people of different cultures, specifically those that come from Spanish-speaking cultures. They covered ideas of how they had created spaces and opportunities for people of different Spanish-speaking cultures to advance and fully contribute in their restaurants and on their teams. Part of the event and that segment also spoke on their success in venturing out to having restaurants open in Puerto Rico, which has a completely different culture than that of the continental US. And the businesses have been performing quite well. I actually had the opportunity to visit one of those restaurants when I was out there exploring and spending some time with my grandpa. I noticed several differences from what they offered on their menu and what default items were on their sandwiches and so on. But otherwise, it was a culture similar to what I was accustomed to here, just with a bit of a Latin flair, if you will. On a micro level, as my work experience relates to this topic, one of the other directors of the team, the back of house operations director, was a fluent Spanish speaker. He was bilingual, so he could communicate effectively with his team, lead them with intention, and create a culture almost as if it were a second home. It was quite unlike what it was with me leading the front of house team. I tried to lead a culture of kindness and consideration, as did he, yet in the back there seemed to be sustained and maintained culture, mosh posh culture, kind of on their values from their different home countries. Him being able to communicate with Spanish speakers as easy as it was for me to communicate with English speakers allowed for his team to be able to grow into leadership roles and into spaces where otherwise they might have not even been aware that they could. Personally, as the director of the front of house operations team, Personally, as the front of house operations director, I tried my best to facilitate an environment in which we can encourage each other and even correct each other in ways such that we would be able to communicate a little more intentionally with our Spanish-speaking team, making sure that we are using please and thank you in Spanish, asking for items in their language as best as we can, at least make the effort and do our best to learn what is respectful and how to say and ask for things respectfully. I remember first working there, I noticed that some people were almost demanding things in Spanish, and to their knowledge, they were just asking for things. I knew better just from my own experience with the language. I'm not fluent, though I have been exposed to and experienced at least what is respectful from my own interactions with my Spanish-speaking family. I feel my boss was quite intentional with putting people in positions to better create a culture that they might otherwise not be able to create. I was in a position to lead the front of house team, and that had nothing to do with my identity, I would say. But as far as the back of house director, I would say that one of the greatest benefits of having that specific individual in such a leadership role was his ability to better create that culture in which all of his team can feel comfortable and can have those options, at least to grow as far as they would choose to. That's gonna be it.